Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Highly Suspicious Podcast with Louie and Preston. My name is Louie.
My name's Preston.
We're for you once again live from the trap house. Clark's in this mug. Caitlin Clark's in this bitch.
Very excited to be back and be playing for Indiana now.
Let's go. You know, Caitlin, you have a really deep and sensual voice for a woman.
I think it fits my face, actually. Have you seen my jawline?
So, we have a very important episode today. You guys know what we have to talk about. The Cleveland Cavaliers
Oh my God, not
have
again,
won
Louie.
Game 7 and are playing the Celtics in the second round. And everybody wants to talk about it. We're going to talk matchups. Is Donovan Mitchell the greatest Cleveland Cavalier of all time?
Oh my God.
Are y'all ready to talk, bro? Like,
Where do
I
we
was
even
listening.
start?
We didn't even finish Meet the Grams, and I was like, we gotta go right the fucking now.
Oh, I'm ready to start yapping.
I mean, everything's fresh on my mind anyway. It all came out in the past 48 hours.
So I'm gonna give you all the grace of giving you all a quick timeline of all this shit. If y'all have been listening to the show, you'll have kept up with some of it. But since we last recorded, there have been 5 diss records exchanged between Kendrick and Drake. That was 6 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
So, on Friday morning, Kendrick released, he back-to-back Drake,
Mm-hmm.
and he released 616 in LA, and then that night, there were murmurings that Drake was finally pushing the red button, and he put out Family Matters.
Yeah.
And in the song, he alleges that Kendrick Lamar is a woman beater.
Yep. And then he moved to New York to cheat.
And that his child is Dave Free's child,
Yeah.
who he left Top Dog Entertainment to create his own label with.
And he must have name-dropped Kendrick's wife like 50 times.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And less than 30 minutes after that comes out, Kendrick released the most hating record of all time, Meet the Grams, where he's telling Adonis how much of a piece of shit his daddy is. And then he exposes an entire new child, a daughter, and he also talks about the predatory culture around Drake, how he has pedos on payroll, basically.
Yeah.
Which
Novo.
there's some certifiable stuff there, which is, I think, what makes it some of the most incendiary shit in this whole thing.
Yeah, really.
This
You
may
know,
not be
just eviscerates his fucking character.
Yeah, this man talks to his child, his baby mama, his mom, and his dad all on one track.
Uh-huh.
It's fucked. It's really some, like, look at your life, bro. Like, he didn't even say too much. He just was like, look in the mirror, Drake.
Yeah.
Be scared.
But then after that, Kendrick back-to-backs him again. He releases the new Kendrick joint. Fuck, what's it called?
Not Like
Help
Us.
me!
Not Like
Meet the
Us.
Grams.
Not like us.
That's
You
what-
got it.
not
Okay.
like us.
And this is a
Yeah.
boppery royale, a straight-up club song, pretty
Oh,
much.
dude.
And
It's the
getting
second
played.
banger.
It's a great counterpiece to
Mhm.
Meet the Grams, but then Drake comes out last night
Yeah.
and says that I am not a pedophile. You're glue and I'm rubber. And he says that he fed that information to him about
Sure you did.
the daughter who there's been no evidence of a lot of this shit. A lot of this is
Hearsay.
baseless allegations. You know what's not baseless allegations to me, though? Drake has a guy on his payroll who was convicted of human trafficking.
Yeah.
And that's public knowledge.
Drake's paid off a sexual assault charge. That's public knowledge,
That's
too.
public knowledge, too. But no, we're talking about fucking
There's receipts.
Kendrick's
For at least
baby is
that
not
shit.
really his baby and how he's beating women.
Yeah.
And to me, I don't think that either of those things are true.
Yeah, but
'cause-
all the shit that Kendrick said about Drake is, like, you can kind of see it in his life and his personality and shit, where he's like, yeah, you like being famous. Yeah, you're probably ashamed of your baby mama. You know, shit like that. You're Canadian. All
There are
that.
plenty of weird pictures of him with underage women too.
Have y'all seen this video of him at one of his
On
shows?
stage, making
where there's
out.
like a 17-year-old girl.
Mm-hmm.
And
on
he
stage
makes
with
out
him.
with her, and after that, he's like,
And he's like
"What's-
filling her up, and he's like,
how
wait a
old
minute,
are you?"
how old are you? She's like 17. Crowd's like, ooh. And then he's like, not gonna lie, it kind of felt good when you were up on me. Ooh. That shit's crazy. In public.
Public
my
knowledge.
guy. What the fuck?
So, I think my favorite song of this shit is Not Like Us. Cause A minor.
Literally,
like-
it hits so hard.
and that beat is just so crazy. I heard people online saying that beat was whack. I've never
The
felt
Drake stands
less
are
like
going crazy right now.
That makes me
They
feel
are writhing.
That makes me feel insane because that's just like a
You're lying.
great beat.
You're
I'm gonna
fucking
learn to
lying.
crip walk specifically for that.
And
Real
I saw
shit.
saw that video of people getting lit in the club to it, and it's just like, bro, like that went number one.
Yes.
Euphoria might be about to go number one
Yeah.
this week. I don't know if you'll.
It's
saw
kind of a
that.
banger,
It's
too.
either gonna be one or two,
Yeah.
and this new song could go number one too. It probably won't, but still,
Yeah.
Kendrick is releasing hit songs.
Dissing.
And they all have a different vibe too, which
Totally.
I love. Like Meet the Grams was all serious and solemn.
Yeah.
And then like he proved that he can make a song too with
hit diss
Not
track.
Like Us that
Right.
we can dance to. I love that.
Yeah.
You know what I do believe though? I think Drake might be telling the truth about the information feeding to,
Possibly.
because there's the whole thing with the cover art.
Yeah.
I don't know if you all saw that, but it had like a Maybach glove
Yeah.
and a bunch of
And
random shit.
And there was rumor that it's like from Drake's house.
Yeah.
And like somebody sent pictures.
And
to
that's
Kendrick.
like the mole. And
Yeah.
then when he released that song to streaming, it was just a blank cover.
Yeah.
And so Twitter had already been saying that that's proof that it was just cap, that was.
I was
And
debating the other day about like if this is fake beef or not, but then
it's not fake
yeah,
anymore,
but
bro.
then we get some shit. We get
After
Meet the Grams, and I'm like, yeesh.
I think
you know.
the point.
That's the point.
I think the real point was that Family Matters, where it was like,
Yeah.
this is making both of these guys look terrible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So listen to me. I don't know if I'd say Drake is losing.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's so close, and it might be over.
I'm saying
It pisses me off that Kendrick didn't just kill this guy.
yeah.
Why are you letting him fucking
Try.
Why is he hanging around right now? Why is the score even remotely close right
It's
now?
so funny.
Kendrick has out-rapped Drake on every single one of these songs. And it's close.
I agree with that entirely. I think that also just like song ratio wise, like that's
Kendrick's
a
winning.
hit.
Yes.
Meet the Grams is like cutting really deep, you know, and
Yeah.
dropping like 30 minutes after. Even if there is,
That was the crazy
even
part
if
about
Drake
that.
is
That was
feeding
insane.
Kendrick information with one of his guys, it's weird to like kind of shoot yourself in the leg like that.
That's what I was telling
By
Whitney.
letting somebody respond within
Yeah.
30 minutes with a family-related diss song response. And it's genuinely like, Family Matters is kind of a banger, probably the best song that Drake's gotten in here so far. But
Yeah, for sure.
to immediately have it followed up with some real shit, and then for within 24 hours for Kendrick to be like, also, here's something to turn up at the club.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Fuck you.
Because that was the biggest criticism people were saying of Meet the Grams was like, I'm not putting this on my playlist.
Mhm.
This isn't getting no play in my ride.
But it's
And
still
then
part
Drake
of the
ju-
discography.
And then
for-
Drake just dropped something that no one's gonna listen to
Mhm.
again.
Not
I
at
am
all.
never
Part
going
6
to,
is so whack.
because it's pure. It's just the content. It's
Yeah.
It
I-
didn't sound good. Drake wasn't rapping very well.
Dude,
It was
it-
like a voice memo almost.
Really? Oh
Well,
my
actually,
god.
Yeah.
I didn't do this.
Borderline.
because I set this up.
Borderline.
No, it really is. I've
And
seen the meme.
Taylor
you
made
sent
was
me
whack
it.
too. So
And
his
It really is like that Always Sunny scene where it's just like, I don't diddle kids, And they're like, there's no faster way for people to think that you diddle kids than to make an entire fucking song about how you don't. And him being like, I couldn't do Millie Bobby because I could do some other bitch. Bruh, what the fuck are you talking about?
Drake kind of played himself there, because
it sounds like none of his ghostwriters were in the room for that shit. Because it sounds like what I expect if Drake was just writing his own shit and producing his own shit. That's what I expected to sound like. Some sad one-man band bullshit.
And that's kind of how Kendrick exposed him, by speeding him up. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? With both of them.
He said, try to drop something without your ghostwriters.
Because he knew this whole time, like, he had the shit ready. But
is Kendrick going to respond?
I don't know.
What do we think?
I mean, I think if it just ends right here, Kendrick already won.
Yeah, really. This would be like quitting while you're ahead.
Drake's still on the clock for me.
I think
if Kendrick won by right now, it would be a split decision.
I disagree. If you go song for song, Kendrick.
It is.
I think it's. I get what you're saying about how close it is because everything's been so back to back. I'm still waiting for somebody to drop like an album in this shit and have like diss songs.
Drake was saying that Kendrick's about to.
If he does, it'll be amazing. And that would be the fucking nail in the coffin because there's no way Drake's making a fucking album's worth of shit to respond.
I totally agree with that. You know? I absolutely agree with that. So that's a very good point.
I think that would end it, and I think that's why we haven't seen such a quick response, you know?
I think that Drake's controlling the narrative right now, and he basically kills two of Kendrick's diss tracks because 616 he's talking about. That's basically all 616 is bragging that he has a mole, that he thinks he has a mole.
Yeah, and then for Drake.
And then Meet the Grams, that's what fucking pisses me off more than anything because that almost invalidates that fucking song, even though if you cut that part out, everything else in that song is so scathing. Yeah. Talking about how he's a fucking predator and Braun keep the family away, Curry keep the family away.
He went through each of his family members individually. I had to pause after each person. I was like, okay, he went through Adonis, now let me pause for Sandra.
Honestly, just telling somebody's kid, listen to this when you're 18 to hear what your daddy's really like is fucked, man. I mean, that's some deep shit.
When we pressed play on that because I was over at Pierce's for all of this, and it was just so crazy because we were educating our friend Charles, who didn't know shit about the beef, and then it's like, oh shit, Drake responded, and then it was like 15 minutes later, oh shit, Kendrick responded. Mm-hmm. But
I got notifications
the first like 2 seconds of the song where Kendrick's like, "Dear Adonis, I'm sorry that Drake had to be your father." It's just like, rewind.
Yeah, right.
It's like that.
Also, just like the instrumental, the dun dun. That's just like some horror movie sort of
that
shit.
Tied in with Kendrick's emotion and delivery and the lyrics. I mean, it's all perfect. I mean, that's why I say Kendrick
is winning.
Kendrick can't compete. Or Drake can't compete with Kendrick.
So you all really don't think that
I get what
he
you're
fed
saying.
the information to him?
I think that's cap. I think that's totally just like I need to turn this around somehow.
And he stole a Twitter narrative that was going around.
Yeah, and I think it'd be a really weird way to fuck with Kendrick at this point is like, well, I'll like feed you bullshit so that I can say that it's bullshit that I fed you.
It didn't even sound real because everyone's reaction when that line came on the song was like, there's no way Drake got a did on again. There's no way that Drake just had another secret kid.
Yeah.
And for it to be just ridiculous ass information that Kendrick,
I think
if what Drake's saying is true, obviously we don't know. But if he's saying that he fed the information to him a week ago after the beef had already started, and Kendrick would have been like, oh yeah, 11-year-old kid, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, why would Drake not have concrete proof that he fed the information to Kendrick? I mean, that's the first thing I would do. I would be able to back up and...
Well, he'd be outing somebody.
I think that's the biggest reason why it's like weird, because Drake really let that narrative simmer for a couple days, and he posted that Instagram story.
He chose it.
Where he was like, somebody find me my 11-year-old daughter, please. And then he was talking with academics, and he was saying with him, like, if people find my 11-year-old daughter, I will stop rapping.
That's stupid.
Why would he do all that if he fed the information to him in the first place? And
I think that in something
does he not
like
have
this,
receipts?
It clearly bothered him what people were saying, and that's why he's responding like that.
That was another weird thing. Sorry, you go.
No, you're good. I think that it's like Meet the Grams is just so already like going for his family and talking about, you know, being ashamed of his baby mama and not raising his kid right and whatever. But I also think that just, like, throughout this beef, there is hyperbole, and there is, like, some shit that you can just see the line and be like, well, that's probably cap, you know? Mm-hmm. And throw it away on both sides. So I think that we're kind of just at that point where it's like, there's probably some real shit, and then he's probably going to be like, based on the way that you act with this one kid that we know about, there could be another kid that you don't even know you have, you know?
I think what's hurt Drake the most in all this is making his point so complicated.
Yeah.
Because for people to have to know about, like, the Maybach glove and general audiences are not going to do all that. They're just going to hear... I mean, a lot of people aren't even probably caught up with this and still bumping, I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk.
Yeah.
O-V-ho. O-V-ho.
Oh, my God.
Bruh. That... I think we're going to look back and be like... That was the best song of this whole shit because it's the most, like, an actual song of all these. Because, you know, Push-Ups, Euphoria, and the other one are very, like, beef-centric.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, Not Like Us is pretty, you know, banging.
It's just a good song. That's what I was saying, though.
Yeah, there is some shit where it's just
a standout in that way.
You know, run for your life.
Can we play that real quick?
Yes. I've been waiting, man.
Because we
don't even need to play the Heart Part 6. That shit's just sad.
I don't want to hear that either.
Dude, we gotta go more into that, too. Because he's making fun of fucking Kendrick for being molested, even though...
Oh my God, right?
Even though he wasn't.
He's like, that's probably why you're so mad that I'm a pedophile, is because you got molested. Wait a minute, what'd I say? I don't fuck kids. I wouldn't even want Millie Bobby Brown.
Even though Kendrick didn't bring up Millie Bobby Brown.
Get your hand-me-downs and party at the party playing with his nose now. And Baka got a weird case, why is he around? Certified lover boy,
certified pedophile.
That fuck him up. I'ma do my stuff. Why you trolling like a bitch? Ain't you tired? Trying to strike a chord and it's probably
A minor. Also just that like...
He ate that, bro.
I know,
he ate that.
Insane delivery.
God. Like us. Hey, run for your life. Let me hear you say O-V-ho.
O-V-ho.
O-V-ho. Then step this way, step that way. Then step this way, step that way. Are you my friend?
If I were Kendrick, I wouldn't just be able to leave it here, bro.
Nah, same.
Cause that's almost a celebration diss track after he's already won. When I don't think he's won.
I think that's why I'm saying I think the Kendrick album's gonna be the nail in the coffin. I think either this is gonna keep playing out for a little while until that album drops, or that's why Kendrick hasn't responded yet because he's like ready to drop this shit. Yeah. And some of these diss songs are gonna be on the album.
I can't see that.
At least maybe like Not Like Us or like some other like or Euphoria or like some.
I doubt it.
One of the big songs.
I feel like that would be weird, wouldn't it?
I mean, I feel like Kendrick could do this as long as he wants, though. There's so much dirt on Drake. I mean, that's Drake's downfall since Pusha T.
I'm waiting for another feature. I want more people in on this shit. I mean, Rick Ross got some shots. Rick Ross and Kendrick.
That's true.
On one track.
That's true.
That'd be crazy. And I hadn't heard the Rick Ross, like, Drake diss until a few days ago. That thing's kind of fire.
So,
like, it's really different than everything else that's coming out, but that's, you know, Rick Ross is different than Drake or Kendrick Lamar. You know?
So, you just reminded me of something else I was thinking about. But Family Matters, when Drake is dissing all the other people, he does it well, but it's like, why do we have no Kendrick singular diss tracks? Why are you keep making this about... I mean...
Rick Ross said I got a nose job.
Making it about fucking, like, ASAP Rocky, who's just sitting on the sidelines right now.
Yeah.
And Drake's just trying to pick a
Where
fight
he's
with
like,
other
Metro,
people.
shut your whole ass up and go make some drums.
It's almost
That was
filler.
hilarious.
It's almost filler. It's almost like he can't
Say
just
everything.
zero in on Kendrick for a whole song.
I agree.
Because we saw the only song he's done that is the newest one, and
It's kind of whack.
And it's kind of fucking whack.
I mean, how long can you go at Kendrick? He doesn't do anything. Like he said, it's like.
Have y'all seen the video of Kendrick just doing push-ups to some like classical like soul shit?
Like, dude, just be chilling.
He's just vibing. He's like, and he literally in his shit was like, I know peace, and you like being famous, and you're the one that cares what people think, bruh. Man,
I think.
how do you go at somebody like that? You know, he seems so unbothered. Also, it's just crazy because he like reactivated all of his social media accounts just for this shit.
Yeah, I think Kendrick did it smart by before everything calling him out for being a master manipulator and saying that he's gonna tell a lie on me and I'm gonna have to tell the truth about him.
Mm-hmm.
Even though
he's been strategic
half of it didn't end up being
fuck,
true.
man. It is really some like. That's why I'm surprised that we didn't get like a. I mean, we'll see because that Drake shit dropped like last night, so we'll see if Kendrick gets something out in 24 hours, you know. And I was like, who knows what time he's gonna drop something, you know? We've had like in the AM shit. We've had midnight type shit.
How do you all?
So we'll see.
Yeah. How do you all think that public perception has changed on both these guys? If this was the end of it.
I think Drake's been called out for shit that he's been doing. That's like has been obvious to everybody, but nobody's really been like, I don't know why you talking to them girls, Drake. You know.
And that's the thing. All the stuff that Kendrick exposed him for, none of it was really like shocking.
Yeah, it's not, and it's like he said before. He's like, I don't need to call people to find out shit about you because you be doing it in public.
Exactly. I mean, people have been saying Drake got his body done for years. I mean, I remember. I think Joe Budden said that.
Literally
like, years ago. Like, this is nothing new. Like, and the whole pedophile stuff.
Rick Ross cut deep by being like, you don't even want to be black. Mm-hmm. That's why you got your nose job.
I think
crazy.
I think in that way it's hurt Kendrick's side for all this because the shit that Drake's saying is like new shit.
Mm-hmm.
And
where it's like, where's this coming from? Probably just self-defense.
There are at least some people out there that think that Kendrick beats women now.
That's true.
Yeah. I hear that.
When people already thought a type of way about Drake.
But it's still sort of like, if people are going to be like, where are the receipts for Drake's second child? Where are the receipts for Kendrick being a woman beater? You know?
Family Matters is crazy, bro. Because he said, when you hit on your girl, is it self-defense because she's bigger than you?
That is actually crazy.
I hollered. I screamed.
That is actually crazy.
I think that might have been Drake's best bar, out of all of this.
Yep. But the real question is, did he write it?
I hope so.
What do y'all think?
That's how I feel.
What do y'all think about that B sharp line in the new Drake song?
It was pretty good. I like when there's like some back and forth like detailed responses. You know, I like that we're at a point in this where Kendrick's really just like, "Fuck you, Drake." Fuck you, Aubrey.
Yeah.
Drake said, Whitney, you can hit me if you need a favor, but when I say I'll hit you back, it'll be a lot safer. That was heat.
Yeah. I don't know, man. This shit's been crazy. I get what you're saying earlier about like living lifetimes in a fucking week. Because it's like Kendrick woke up out of hibernation for this shit.
Yeah.
And this has been building up for years, too.
Yeah.
That's the part that...
But now it got to a point where it's like, you know what? Fuck the way you talk. Fuck the way you walk.
Exactly.
Fuck your whole personality.
This is the most...
You pedophile.
This has to be like the most individual songs in a row that Kendrick's put out besides like an album.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like, even his great feature runs haven't been like shit.
Yeah.
6 of them in a week.
Right?
But man, are there any winners in this? Only losers?
In the long run, I don't think there's any winners.
I would say there's no losers.
Because they're all making a bag from it.
Yeah, good. Any publicity is good publicity when you're famous as fuck, you know?
Y'all don't think this pedophile shit will hurt Drake's
I
reputation?
think it will, but I think that's why Kendrick's winning.
Yeah.
You know? I think all the shit that's been said about Kendrick, it's like, there's no evidence, and he's not even really on that type of shit where that shit matters.
69 guy.
Right? Exactly. I mean, he's packing way more fucking heat. And it's like, the quality is so much better. I would say that's my main thing with the Heart Part 6 is I'm just like, this sounds like you recorded it in your bedroom, dude. Like
finally got the replayability with Not Like Us. That's all he needed.
Yeah.
Not Like Us. He's rapping circles better than Drake on Heart Part 6. Heart Part 6 would easily be the worst in the Heart series.
I would almost say, because 616 in LA was like a play on some of Drake's titling, it's almost like this is a response to 616 in LA, but there's 2 whole ass songs that have come out since then by Kendrick.
I don't think it's specifically...
I know, but you sort of get what I'm saying. I think Drake's playing catch up a little bit. Just at this rate, we got 2 songs that he needs to respond to, and he's just now responding to 616 in LA.
Drake just re-listened to Euphoria, and he's like, "Fuck, I didn't even hear he said that."
Yeah, right.
I didn't really understood what he meant by that, and now I have to respond to it.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. But I think
he was like, "How about I say Kendrick's short again?"
I said on the last episode that 16-year-old Louis would be so happy right now.
Dude, I'd be losing my mind.
Because I've been wanting for Kendrick to go at Drake like this for a billion years. But I think I would be disappointed in how fucking close it is. Because
I get what you're saying.
He
is he's toying with them. That's what it feels like.
I think Heart Part 6 could have been a fucking kill shot if Drake could rap.
Real shit. Oh my god.
Because he could have packaged that so much better.
Yeah.
Because
the names.
Because Drake was low key selling on that song. He was low key fumbling the bag by being like, "Well, since I'm rich and famous, how could I be a pedophile? I would have been caught."
It's not like there's never been a rich and famous pedophile before Kendrick. You're crazy for that. What kind of accusations?
There's no one more prosecuted than rich and famous and powerful people.
And it just felt so defensive. Like, I see Drake on the aggressive.
He really heard Kendrick say something about him and Harvey Weinstein. He's like, Harvey Weinstein wasn't rich and famous like me.
Yeah, he probably doesn't know who that is. He doesn't understand that half the movies that he's watched have been Weinstein productions.
Facts.
But, are we in the new Me Too movement?
Ooh.
Cause with the whole Diddy shit being like Harvey Weinstein, but in the music industry instead, being fucking...
Oh, P. Diddy is the Harvey Weinstein of the music industry.
And now we're seeing all this where if there really is some fucking human trafficking shit inside of Drake's mansion...
Yeah.
Even if they didn't get Drake, if they got the people around him for that shit, like...
Drake's fucked.
Like, that's crazy, dude.
Because, I mean, they won't name the people around him. They'll just say Drake.
Like
in the media.
Yeah.
Yeah, they won't even say their name. Drake's bodyguard.
Drake's associates. Like, that's what they'll say. Drake associate.
Catch him on
the front line. Man. I think,
I mean, that's his fault, though. I mean, once you get to that, I mean, you shouldn't be, of course, associating with pedophiles anyway, but, I mean, especially once you get to that level.
Yeah, be careful who the fuck you around.
Exactly.
Even if you don't know for sure, like, if you hear something about somebody, why the fuck you gonna be around them?
You gotta put your reputation first.
Mm-hmm.
Looking the other way on some shit, which is pretty much as bad
as that's
doing
being complicit, really.
Oh, 100%. Especially when it comes to something like that. Yeah, you're just as bad.
Mm-hmm.
You all watch any of the Jeffrey Epstein documentaries?
Nah.
Mm-mm.
It's pretty harsh, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend it.
Thanks.
But just like that's how it was there, where there were the people doing it and the people just being like, you know,
I'm not hearing or seeing anything from
I don't
this
know.
way.
Whatever they're doing is none of my business.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, what a lot of people do every day in the real world is look the other way on some shit that they probably shouldn't be looking the other way on.
No, we live in the see it and film it and hope something is done about it later.
And I think that's what's I think that's what's cool about Kendrick, that through confrontation he's saying, look man, it's not cool that you're a piece of shit and you
I hope you die.
And I hope you
die. People like you should die.
Jeez.
That's just crazy.
What do y'all think Kendrick's motive in all of this is?
Hatred.
I mean,
through hatred and God, through rage and God, all things are possible. I don't know.
I guess to be 100% fair, like we were mentioning, the turning away from it. Like,
yeah,
Kendrick was doing that if he knew for years. He was just waiting to release it because he said he wasn't even gonna go that hard unless his wife didn't get name dropped. So.
Fair.
I think you're probably right about that. That if he knew about it for years, that it would be kind of.
He's also.
But like we said, all of this stuff has been public shit. Like the thing is, just people don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like Kendrick had to put it in a song for people to give a fuck about any of this shit. When this shit was public knowledge.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
Facts.
Anyways, so y'all think Kendrick wins? Kendrick is winning?
So far, yeah.
Do y'all think that there's going to be more? Cause
there is absolutely going to be more. Because it's really one of those things where it's like we said, we don't think that Kendrick can't, respond to the Heart Part 6. I think it's really easy to respond to that because that shit's so whack.
Uh-huh.
And I'm sure that he has something, and like I said, we'll see, it hasn't even been 24 hours by the time we're recording this.
Yeah.
So we'll see if something comes out later. Like, maybe he'll drop tonight at the same time that Drake dropped his shit, because that's sort of shit he's been on recently. Or we'll see in the next week if he ends up, dropping an album. That really would be the, there's no coming back from that.
If I'm Kendrick, I feel like public perception is so far on my side after
Absolutely.
not like us and Meet the Grams. I'm not even responding. I mean,
dude, the only allegation is he moved to New York to cheat on his wife, which
he talked about in Morale.
Yeah.
Which he told you in the song.
Yeah.
But you all didn't listen, so you all don't even know. You all think it's breaking news that he cheated on his wife with white girls.
He's a really open guy, honestly. It's funny because there's so many people that talk about like 4 for 4 and Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers being comparable as the most personal albums in rap history.
Yeah.
And it kind of is like that, where it's I'm gonna get in the nitty gritty. I'm gonna say the wrong I've done in my life, because that's where I find inspiration as a real artist versus somebody who's just doing it for the clout,
And also the self-reflection in his life on that album.
Yeah.
Like Father Time, stuff like that.
Oh, Father Time is
such a good album.
So, this is Dennis Graham talking about the Me Too movement videos that's been floating around.
Here's something that I want to say to these young ladies that allow themselves to go and be with a man in their rooms or whatever. Stop going to the hotels. Same with Bill Cosby. Stop going to their rooms. You don't have to be in their room. Take your ass home.
So it's are there the two sides to blame, or is it?
No, there's not two sides to blame. You take your ass
Oh my
home.
God.
Don't go into a man's
He
room.
did not.
Don't go where a man is.
He said there's no victim blaming here because it's all the victim's fault.
He said don't go to a man's room at all.
Yeah.
At all. If anything happens to you in a man's room.
That's the type of time he on, I guess.
He said that rape is their fault. And I saw, there's this guy on YouTube named Professor Sky. He's he's such a pretentious music asshole.
Yeah.
But he made a really good point about this, because he was saying that this beef is almost like an extension of Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers.
Yeah.
Because he's telling...
I heard that.
Because Meet the Grams was almost like a therapeutic type of vibe with
Yeah.
a similar sound to Morale too.
Yeah, he was sort of like, get
And-
your shit in order.
And you know, Kendrick's telling him to do ayahuasca.
Yeah,
and
he's like, I'm
strip
sad I
the
have to
ego
say
from
this
himself.
even.
And that was a main theme in that album, was like generational like
Trauma
shit
and-
that's
yeah.
passed down. And for Dennis Graham to have shit like that, it's no surprise to anyone
Yeah,
that
if Drake is
that
on
Drake
that, yeah.
is making fun of Kendrick for getting molested.
Yeah.
And that's why he's
Yeah, because
projected
he's
it
like,
onto
it's your
him.
fault. And then also, like, I've been told by the people closest to me that, you know, there's nothing wrong with what I'm doing. It's also like, if you have had that mentality passed down to you, you know, because there is a certain generation where it's like, we're married, but everybody has extramarital affairs, so it's whatever. And so if he's really been, like, sort of pushed that mentality, like, even subconsciously, it makes perfect sense that he's like, you know, you're just hit by this shit because you were molested and that's on you and whatever.
And I think that's what Morale was trying to teach us, was like empathy for other people.
Yeah.
Because people were like, why the fuck you have Kodak on your album? And basically used them for the narrative of like, you know, the trauma that's passed down
Yeah.
fucks us up, and even good people do fucked up things.
Yeah.
Not saying
No,
that's
but he's even like,
necessarily
I've
Kodak,
been there myself.
but
You know?
And then you gotta be man enough to just mature. And
Yeah.
if you're wrong, just admit that and grow and see the error.
And
in your
live with
ways.
it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Can't change the past, but you
But-
can change what you do.
But Drake always thinks the opposite, because he's like, I'm sorry you're fucked up off of getting molested, but it's made you a terrible person, so fuck you. When it's almost should be the opposite, where it's like, you know, you're a piece of shit, but
I'm sorry you got
but
molested.
you've been, you know, fucked up by this, and I could have some understanding for you as a human being for being fucked up.
Yeah, for sure.
But I feel like that's the type of thing you learn to grow out of over time. I mean, with age comes wisdom, right? I mean, you meet women who have encountered that type of thing. You hear people's stories.
Yeah, and you learn empathy.
Exactly. I mean,
Because you can't, it's one of those things where it's like everybody talks about putting yourself in somebody else's shoes, but it is harder to do that if you don't know anybody personally that has been in that position. It's more easy to relate to somebody that you've had give you like a first-hand account of some shit.
And I
you
mean,
know?
we all know women who have been abused,
Right,
or
really.
molested. I mean, let's
we
be
just live in a
honest here.
society where it's like, it happens out in the
Oh,
world.
it's common.
You know? It's not even just about like some, you know, you were in a bad situation or whatever type of
So-
shit. It's, you could be out minding your own damn business and somebody could do something.
And then
So-
as a man, we're the ones who are doing it. So I mean, we should
Mhm.
know. Like, I mean, it's just something you
So-
should have grown out of. I can't defend that or blame
No,
trauma
Drake,
or anything
Drake's
like that.
immature as fuck.
Exactly. Like,
I think so often we see these child stars that grow up fucked up.
Yeah.
And Drake was young when he was on Degrassi.
I would agree.
So you're in this world where everyone's telling you shit about money and taxes and how the world works and how everyone expects you to do shit for him. And you just are a sponge at a certain age, and you just
Yeah.
absorb all of this negative shit that's in the world, in the entertainment industry.
Mm-hmm.
Have you
That's a
all
good
seen
point.
that Dan Schneider?
No, but
Shit.
I was about to say, I saw a picture the other day of Drake when he was like around the age that he was when he was on Degrassi with I think it's Josh from Drake and Josh. And
It's random.
it's kind of one of those things where it's like they were probably around like the same
Oh, for
people in
sure.
that industry, you
Yeah.
know. Drake probably was learning to like look the other way at that fucking age,
that's a great point.
And like
That's a
with
great point.
you know? Like he was probably around that shit
100%.
and has been choosing to ignore it just like Kendrick was saying.
yeah, and it's at a certain point you don't wake up one day and just flip a switch in your brain when you're fucking used to something, when you've been around some fucked up shit since you were a kid. You're not gonna wake up and see your friends doing fucked up shit and be like, okay,
No,
here's where I'm drawing the line.
it's kind of the same, like, learned behavior as people who are, like, racist or misogynist, where it really is just, like, you're around people who think that that way of thinking is okay, or you, like, are in an environment where you are encouraged to just ignore shit like that, and so you just perpetuate it. It's a vicious cycle type shit.
Yeah, for sure.
But at some point, I mean, Drake's out of that bubble, though.
Is he?
He's been out of that bubble before, you don't think so?
But I feel like maybe his bubble's just always been yes men.
Selective, yeah.
And, you know, people that were around him for money, because he had money his whole fucking life.
Yeah.
He was a fucking child actor star. Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from upper middle class, now we here.
Facts.
So, maybe Drake's never been out
really
of that
been
bubble.
that.
He could have
also
been
like,
sheltered his entire fucking life.
I think people in those circles are shallow and don't really say, like, the real shit, you know, or don't, like, really question shit that should be stigmatized. And so it is one of those where it's like, even if he's been around people who have experienced shit, it's probably not like they were talking about it. You know?
Yeah.
I guess, but I mean, at some points it seemed like Drake was running on like a mob boss, though. I mean, that has nothing to do with how he grew up. I mean, that's just entitlement.
I think that's another thread.
He has been sort of on that recently, too, which is so funny.
Like, that has nothing to do. Well, I mean, that's just him wanting to portray an image.
That
it's
was
so
a
funny
huge
for him to be like, Kendrick,
W.
you're not even really a gangster.
Yeah.
But that's the whole point of, like, Good Kid, Mad City.
I was gonna get to that, so thank you for bringing that up, because he goes at his street cred and he's be like, you know who really bangs the set? YG.
Yeah, but not you, bitch. The fuck?
So Drake's so shallow, and he doesn't even listen to Kendrick's music. He's an outsider to rap, and he probably sees that as an old white guy would see it as just angry black man gangster rap.
Yeah.
Which is how you think when you don't have
perspective,
Yeah. So it's the same thing when, like,
I kind of like, it was so hard to digest for me, you know? That shit just, I don't know, it's so almost melodramatic, you know?
Yeah, very dramatic.
Like, woe is me, come to Drake's pity party.
I mean, I can't even think of any direct disses towards Kendrick on that track.
And the fact that he knows that Mother I Sober is about, sexual assault, but the song is about Kendrick saying, I wasn't abused, and they didn't believe me. And they didn't believe me because my mom was abused. And so that's really what fucking Drake is talking about, because he's talking about projecting those feelings onto someone else, and it's right there for him to take.
Yeah.
But because he doesn't even fucking understand the song, he's like, you got molested, Kendrick, so haha.
Right? Oh my god.
You know what I mean?
And the only reason he's attacking Kendrick for it is because he's a man. If it was a woman, he wouldn't say that. I mean,
you remember,
it's not like just rape is bad in general.
You remember
it's like, you're as a man, why are you getting raped?
Yeah. You remember when Terry Crews came out as getting molested?
Yeah.
And, like, people like 50 Cent were clowning him? It's been so much shit that we're trying to make, like, a cohesive conversation out of this, but really it's just all, like, it's all over the place, because, like,
you're talking about one song, that song.
If we tried to do it procedurally, it wouldn't work, because the newest song changed the perspective on
the other shit,
on older ones.
Totally.
So you can't even talk about Meet the Grams anymore without talking about maybe he didn't have an actual.
Yeah.
I think it speaks on Drake's character that everyone was so willing to believe that, because it's like, yep, he's died before.
Nobody was shocked. I mean, it was like just out there for everybody to see, but it's like he was the only one in denial.
Man, it's crazy seeing, like, all this shit go down on the internet, too. Because all the memes are fire. But there's also some good shit being pointed out where it's like people are catching lyrics that I didn't necessarily understand or catch on the first go around. And so it's just constantly evolving as time goes on and as new shit's being dropped, but even more so just as it's out there longer for people to break down every fucking line. Because Kendrick already writes with so many layers to shit, but now that it's like not just about personal experience, but there's some real world shit being pointed out, there's more shit to break down on the daily.
And this is also Kendrick's first diss track.
Yeah.
This is the first time he's ever.
I think that was really cool about it because it was like never really heard that before. Really never heard Kendrick beef with anybody.
Yeah, make that sort of.
You've heard him send like shots at people, but it's never been a full blown like Kendrick diss track before.
Or
now we have a bunch of
his character or anything like that.
Yeah, which he's really going in for it.
I mean, if you can dissect yourself, you can dissect other people, I guess.
Yeah. So
facts.
There's this video that I was looking for, but I can't find it. But it's DJ Academics talking with
he's been on
with Kendrick's like DJ or whatever or producer or whatever. One of the people that have been alerting people when Kendrick's about to drop type of thing. So he's in Kendrick's camp somehow, but he said something about how this might be it, how it might be over, how Kendrick basically said he lost with this one and it's over. I don't share the same perspective, so that's why I partially don't want it to be. I feel like if Preston's right and the album's coming out, that could be.
Yeah, he doesn't need to respond now.
Especially if this music any indication, he's back on his like damn rappy rap shit and he just sells 1 billion fucking records. That would be
that would blow Drake out of the fucking water. That would disintegrate this man.
This could be the first year that Drake or Kendrick's more relevant than Drake.
Yeah.
Because and now this is all projecting, but if Kendrick's able to lock in and make some generational shit again, and Drake tries to release some hits, and it's as forced as it has been for the past few years, and only the big OVO stands are the ones that give a fuck about it, then Kendrick's gonna be up.
You know what Kendrick should really do?
What?
Make Not Like Us a single on his newest album.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. Like, he could totally incorporate some of the shit from this beef into an album where it's like tease the fucking album dropping.
And it will boost the sales as well.
I don't know if y'all saw this, but there's a rumored like 13-minute long version of Euphoria out there.
13 minutes.
I know, right?
The podcast.
It's just the extended part of the hate stuff where he says everything.
Yeah.
Everything about Drake he hates.
Yeah, it's like...
I hate your molecules. I hate your atoms.
I hate your atoms.
I hate your weird facial hair. It makes me uncomfortable.
I hate your beard. I hate your fade.
And another thing, Louis, it's funny you mentioned that interview with Dak. I swear to God, I was listening to that on the way here.
Really?
Yeah, I was listening to that same one.
So what was he saying?
He was saying, like,
Is he saying that it's basically raps?
He was saying that if it stops right here, and Kendrick does not respond, or the DJ guy was, Kendrick's whatever. Yeah. He was saying, like, if it stops right here, Kendrick's won. And I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that completely. Because nobody's ever going to play the Hard Part 6 ever again. And like you were saying, like, the casual fan isn't going to be like, this whole thing is fake or believe any of that. Yeah. People are just going to go with whatever's catchy. I mean, it's like back to back over Warpaint.
I think that's the craziest thing that Kendrick's accomplished has been kind of
he back to back Drake.
It's insane. That blew my mind.
Because
I never thought I'd see that shit in my life. And everybody's like, "Where's the response? Where's the response?"
As soon as I heard that beat, I knew Drake was in trouble because I was like, "That's the only thing he's missing. That replayable hit song. That's this. That's catchy, direct, name drops Drake. Like that's all he needed."
I replay Euphoria a lot too, so
it's
that's a really replayable song for me. And I think I think all the muddying of the waters with Meet the Grams makes me not want to bump it like that. And I know it's not bumpable like that anyways, but I really
you'll probably come back to it.
I don't know.
I think that it's one of those things where it's like you might not be able to enjoy it as much now just because it's like so hot and there's so much like shit. But then it's one of those like you get perspective on it and you kind of like tune out to all the external shit after all this is like played itself out. I think that song still has some like replayability.
The daughter part's gonna piss me off every single time.
Really?
It's going to piss me off every time I fucking listen to it, and I'm like, damn. Drake doesn't really have a daughter. And it really got played right here.
I mean, I know like 616.
Drake had to pull out some trickery to make this beef even competitive, and I think that's what pisses me off because really bar for bar, Kendrick has got him every single time.
Yeah,
bar for bar, song for song,
all that. Yeah, 616 was good too.
Like if you just line them up and just like pick one, I mean, I'd easily pick Kendrick for sure.
Totally.
What's your all's favorite from
this shit?
If it's over?
Does Like That count?
Yeah, for sure.
That shit's a
He knows game.
banger.
He knows game.
That's a fucking banger, and nobody can deny it.
Kendrick's verse on there was
bumping
insane.
that, just like there's still like Jay-Z shit that plays at clubs, this shit's still gonna be bumping
Kendrick's
in like
intro
2040.
Or future
These
intro to
talking
Kendrick,
out of their
it was
necks.
so perfect.
He's talking out of their necks.
Yeah, literally.
Hey, let's get it, bro.
Yes.
CLT, the money, power, respect. I mean, that's an insane. Fuck the big three. Nigga, it's just Big Me. I mean, that was perfect. Oh, it was so good.
And it's like the shot heard around the world type shit, you know? Like, that was really the moment where they're like, oh, this is going
Instant,
down.
Yes.
Instant classic song. Really spurred a beef of like 10 songs between
And it went number
the two.
1 too.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so perfect. That was a perfect moment. Nobody saw it coming.
No.
Especially, I mean, it's with Future too, Drake's old friend. Oh, it's so good.
We're gonna look back at all this shit and just be like, you had to be
What
there.
a time. Yeah.
Because even now, I'm sure there's a YouTube playlist where you could just listen to all of them in order.
Yeah.
But you can't really capture that same magic of hearing Meet the Grams for the first time being like, oh my fucking god.
Yeah, literally.
Kendrick did it.
Well, also just like being here now and having heard this shit like building up over the years too.
Yeah.
Like witnessing the beef start and like build up and get to a point where they're both just like, fuck you. You beat your wife. You're a pedophile. Crazy shit when it literally starts as like,
I hope you die.
yeah, your beats are kind of whack, or like, I don't get what you're on, dude. You know?
Yeah. You just made me think of a response to Clark from like 30 minutes ago.
This is for Clark from 30 minutes ago.
So we were talking about how it would have been fucked up if Kendrick just kind of sat on his hands on the pedophile stuff for so long. Maybe he got it Drake now because he's more vulnerable than he's ever been. Because the thing that was so crazy about Pusha T doing it, he got Drake in his commercial prime. He had like 10 number ones that year. That was the year with God's Plan.
Yeah.
Fucking Kiki, Do You Love Me? Nice for What? All
He
that
sold
shit.
1 million records.
Views sold over 1 million album sales in the first week. He was fucking huge. So that's why Pusha was so crazy when he did that. But maybe Kendrick waited for him to even the playing field a little bit. Because Drake is not doing commercially the same shit as he was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Kendrick's been that guy commercially since Damn, though.
True. Not on Drake's level, though.
He's still not on Drake's level commercially.
Yeah, and it's just about approachability. We can all acknowledge that that's not like a skills issue. That's just a He's
Well-
on that real shit, and not everybody's like, let me tap in with Kendrick and get my feelings a little bit and vibe.
Well, but that's what I was saying earlier, that the Drake's been like this, and Kendrick's kind of been like this. Mr. Morale might have been like this a little bit, but it's trending back up, kind of.
With this shit.
Yeah,
I agree.
for sure.
And it
I was
could be
re-listening
the
to
point
Mr.
where
Morale actually just because of this shit the
yeah,
other day.
me too.
And then I listened to Damn.
I listen to everything, bro.
I
I
was about to
listen to
get
everything.
to Pimp a Butterfly on, and then I was kind of like, nah. I feel like I'm caught up on that Kendrick mentality off of Damn and Mr. Morale alone. What a time to be alive.
For sure.
Here, I'm pulling up some lyrics that I wanted to show you guys. Everybody want to talk about who this and who that, who the realist and who whack, or who white and who black. I'm the only dude next to Snoop that can push the button. Had the coast on standby. K-Dot, what's up? I heard they opened up Pandora's box. I boxed them all in by a landslide. I make the call and get the coast involved. Then history repeats. But I resolved inside that private hall while sitting down with Jay. He said, "It's funny how one verse can fuck up the game." Does that not sound like he's talking about everything that has transpired during this year? One verse. That's all it started with. One verse fucked up the whole game.
And then, I mean, it was just all, like, back to like that. I mean, then it's Metro producing it, and I mean, it's just so many things that made it a perfect track.
And
It's amazing.
And Future kind of turning on Drake at the same
Yeah.
time too,
Mhm.
when
Ooh.
they've all been like this whole time.
That's why he's so mad.
And then it's right
I
after
feel like
first
that's
person
really part of
shooter,
it.
too.
Yeah.
What if Future's been holding up Drake like Drake's dead body skeleton like Weekend at Bernie's, and now that structure's just gone and Drake's just gonna be on the floor like that? Cause
That's
Drake,
why we heard Heart Part 6.
cause not like us when Kendrick's talking about Drake being a colonizer.
Yeah.
Drake kind of needs Future. There's a certain demographic that Drake is tapping in with because of
Somebody the other
having
day said
Future joints.
somebody said the other day that Drake makes music that they play at Target.
Mhm.
I was like, damn, that's fucking real. Because that's really like his
Those be bangers. Though.
market.
Y'all ever be in a Target and a Drake song comes on?
You're kind of vibing with it.
You're like, oh yes.
But
Beats the hell out of some of the shit that they play in Target.
that's
They be
that's
playing
exactly
some-
what I mean, though.
They be playing
Target
some,
standards.
yeah. They be playing Maroon 5 and shit in there.
Yeah,
Girls
that's-
like you.
That's what I mean. He's on the same rotation as Maroon 5.
Just elevator music.
Oh my god.
Play like Hotline Bling or something.
R&B for the elevator.
Yeah, I think
Pop.
I think Drake's one great point was Family Matters, and
Yeah.
I think that Push Ups was pretty good, but overall,
Yeah, it was decent, yeah.
I'm really hating.
Nah,
And people will
Kendrick's
say,
got
"Oh,
it.
you're biased. I love those songs," and it's just like, yeah, everyone's biased. Everyone has their own shit that they like, and Drake made it competitive. But I think we were kind of grading on a curve the whole time of being like, Drake's actually rapping with Kendrick right now, just because that was surprising on its own for Drake to even be able to get up and rap.
Family Matters might be third for me. I got
I got a second or third.
Like That first.
What if
Yeah.
Like That's not in there? You'd have it second.
I hear you. Yeah.
What is it? What is it? What's that one song called?
Come
Like-
Loudly.
What was it? Like Come Like Us or something.
Oh,
Was it
Not
the
Like
Kendrick
Us.
Not
song?
Like
Not
Us?
Like Us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not Like Us. Something like that.
Come Like Us. Nah, Not Like Us is also a banger.
Yeah, I got Not Like Us.
That would
first,
be
if
that
we
would
can
be
put-
it, yeah.
And then I guess Meet the Grams, and then Family Matters is definitely third. And then after that, it's just Kendrick.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. The only song that Drake made I could hold up to.
Taylor Made.
That's trash.
Banger.
I don't know what he was even thinking dropping that.
Tupac doing Drake flows.
Yeah, that's where he really fucked up.
That makes me
you know?
sick.
Kendrick got taken down too.
Yeah, that's how bad it is. And then he's really like, you got the Tupac estate to sue me to take that down to get it like out of the discography for this beef. But it's like, or you're a dumbass who didn't ask permission
Yeah.
to use somebody's fucking likeness.
Really, that's not even a good look for Drake. Like, if that's
Totally.
all, they all low-key did Drake a favor by cease and
I
desist.
still want to know what Snoop has to say about that.
I'm sure he'll say something about it at some point. I'm surprised he hasn't.
What if Snoop's on the Kendrick album?
Oh, that'd be crazy.
I bet he is.
That'd be
I bet he
nuts.
is.
I'm gonna pray like every day when I wake up in the morning and before I go to bed at night for the Kendrick album to drop and be like all the features that I want it to be. Cause I want Snoop on there. I want Future and Metro back to say some shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, I want a Rick Ross feature.
Yes.
That would
Get
just
Weeknd on
be
there,
nuts.
too.
That'd be dope.
That'd be nuts.
That'd be dope. And I bet he'd take subtle jabs with the album. I don't agree with you guys that he should have the diss songs
Nah.
as singles just because they're operating as singles. I just don't want them to be a part
Official.
of the album.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Because I
So maybe his next diss track drop as a single for the album
yeah.
as like a
And-
response to
And he could even
the Hard
go.
Part 6.
He could even go more nondescript. Like he wouldn't necessarily have to, make the whole song a diss song. He can
Yeah.
kind of do what he did with 616 or the newer one.
Yeah, totally. Man.
What are we at?
I'm trying to think of how to wrap this up because I feel like we might have said everything.
I'm wondering if there's anything left unsaid.
I guarantee there is. I guarantee.
No, I guarantee you
a
we'll
second
finish
after this
this
is
and
over.
fucking Kendrick will drop.
Yeah. There's gonna be 10 songs that release between now and Thursday, the drop date, and we're gonna be like, "Fuck, should we even release this?"
I think
We have to do an emergency re-recording. That'd be nuts.
I think I covered everything just what I wanted to say. So who's on the clock? Anybody on the clock? Because technically Drake dropped last, but I can barely consider that a diss track.
It's so weak.
I think
That's
people.
sort of where I'm at, where it's like Kendrick doesn't have to respond.
Mm-hmm.
I think at this point he has one. I do think that it's marginally, like you're saying, Louis. But I also think that like if the album is coming, then there's maybe not any necessity to respond right now because
But-
the album could be the response, or it's not even been 24 hours and something could drop tonight.
But
That's
he
true.
he was saying he got more in the tank on that last song. He said he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 5.
It's 20.
It's not 20.
1 plus 2.
I don't think
3.
that's what he meant. I thought.
See,
he,
no,
like
what
he
I'm
meant
hearing
5
is-
plus 5.
Nah, what I'm hearing is 1
Plus 2 plus 3
plus 3 plus 4 is 10 plus 5 is 15 plus 5 is 20. Back into the 20v1.
Oh.
That's the last point I actually wanted to make. I thought that the other day listening to the track, and I was like, holy shit.
Adds up to 20.
It all makes sense.
Bro, did you all see the 616 stuff? How it was like a quantuple
Oh, yeah, because there's
entendre.
quintuple entendre, bro. There's like, it's like the OJ, it's related to the OJ case.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
related to
It's Father's Day in Canada.
the drop date for Euphoria.
It's the drop date for Euphoria. It's when Kendrick had a show in Toronto
Mm-hmm.
Really?
with 616. Yes.
That's insane.
It's nuts, man.
What else? What else?
There's so much, man. Those were like at least the 4 that I saw, but I know that there's more shit to it.
I heard about the Canadian Father's Day one, but the Drake show in or the
Canadian
Kendrick
Father's
show
Day
in
is
Toronto.
hilarious.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Man.
I think Kenner might have got him. I think being around these two hype beast, thanks guys, you all talked me off the ledge, cause I was really teetering there when we were re-listening to Family Matters. I was like, damn, bro, Drake win this, am I being so much of a dick rider
that you can't even see?
That I can't even... That I'm just
They
delusional.
can't even cope with the fact that Drake could possibly have come up with a good song in this shit.
But I think Kendrick is up song-wise. I think he's got the only certifiable shit in there. Because the Dave Free shit is...
Oh.
We didn't even talk about that, bro.
That shit's kind of
We
fun.
almost brushed past it. But I just think it's kind of stupid. Because why would Kendrick go into a label with
somebody
a new label? He's the PG Lang guy, too. He came with him from Top Dog Entertainment to PG Lang. Why would he do that if he was banging his wife? Mm-hmm. Why would he want to do that? It sounds like he's just finding some shit to say.
Yeah, totally.
And people were saying that Drake, quote unquote, doubled down with the new song because he's saying the same shit.
That's all he knows how to do.
People keep talking about proof. Everyone's talking about proof with this shit.
Yeah, we probably won't get any.
These motherfuckers aren't feds. You know what I'm saying?
Have you seen the shit that's like Nardwar's got to be the one feeding Kendrick information?
That's funny.
That's what Needle Drop said.
It's so funny. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't think Nardwar's a rat.
Nah, Nardwar wouldn't do it.
He's too.
He wouldn't want to compromise. He wouldn't want to compromise any of his relationships. Because he has everybody on that show. Anyone you've never heard of got on Nardwar.
See, and that's why I keep saying that's the level of fame that I want.
And the questions Nardwar asks are more like music related.
But he be knowing some shit though.
No, I saw
some shit. He's like, I know what street you're from. I probably talked to your mama, and she showed me this thing from your yearbook.
I saw a clip from one of his new episodes with someone that I didn't even know, some girl. Not to be disrespectful, you all probably are like, I love her, but I'm sorry, I'm fucking old. I'm turning 23 years old, and I feel like an old man. But he was saying, he was naming the girl's golf buddies, and she's like, how do you know that? Why do you know that?
He went to the golf club, obviously.
And Narwhal is always like, you're
so-and-so. We have to know.
I'm trying to think of like what the equivalent would be. Can you imagine somebody being like, James Coombs? Eastern High School?
I bet Narwhal would say some crazy shit, bro. Cause he would be like, where were you
this night?
Where were you January 6, 2021?
Like Fuego?
Oh my god.
Be like, what? How do you know that? They don't even make those anymore.
We have to.
He's gonna pull up my old YouTube channels and he's gonna expose the fuck out of me. I'm gonna be like, okay, good night, everybody. I would disappear into the wilderness like Kendrick. You want to be Nardwar level famous, where you want to get interviewed by Nardwar. I want to be like a quarter of a step under that trigger to the Nardwar threshold.
Yeah. Where he's like, I have to know.
He's so crazy.
That's honestly scary a little bit, low key.
He definitely talks to people.
Oh, he's a Fed. In some ways, like he's got the same level of like contacts and networking, where he could find out.
Does he just know everyone?
Yes, I bet he does.
He probably or his team is just like so thorough that they really just be like cold calling every person in the town that a motherfucker is from.
That's definitely
what like everybody on your street from when you were a kid.
Find a high school yearbook. If somebody found like a high school yearbook and started calling people, I mean, they can sell everything.
Yeah, really.
Honestly.
And that shit is mostly online.
100%. I mean, like, that's true. Imagine
that's just like on your high school's website for the year that you graduated. You just click on it and it's like first name, last name. All right, Google that shit.
I mean, they can find
start calling
pictures and like they can find anything.
That's scary.
Oh, videos of you going.
Our privacy is nothing.
Yeah, really nothing to Nardwar.
Like, I started thinking about that like when my friends record me doing. I'm like, dang, like this could come back in like 10 years, like acting a fool.
We were at my friend's house on Derby out in the sticks, and we were playing Harlem Shake, and we were doing the Harlem Shake, and then Ben put on Gangnam Style.
Oh my god!
And so now
flashbacks.
now there's a video that exists of us all doing this.
Will that age well?
Maybe. It's already aged 10 years, 12 years since Gangnam Style.
I
What
just
year
been
is
looking
Gangnam
at
Style?
yourself.
A long time ago.
Middle school.
That was
Yeah, it
forever
was.
ago.
I love Gangnam Style. And
That's like when I was first on YouTube, man. That shit was literally
Facts.
like early YouTube
Facts.
music videos. Like Avicii was still alive.
Hey, brother.
Crazy shit.
I remember the first YouTube video, like music video I watched. It was Anaconda by Nicki Minaj. I still remember it. It was like in middle school.
I loved that video in middle school.
It was a classic in middle school. It was a middle school
What else?
classic.
What else?
I was like, this is crazy.
When the first YouTube video I ever watched was like, I might have been 7 years old or something, and my buddy had his desktop computer in his family home, and he played the Storm Humpers video. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? Like the Stormtrooper just like humping everywhere. It was so stupid, but I've never forgotten that.
That lives in your head rent
Yes.
free.
We also played Balloon Tower Defense 3, I think,
Facts.
for
That's
the
a
first time.
classic.
Oh, fire.
What a time to be alive.
Y'all remember Ancon.com?
What's that?
That's like a free flash game site. That was like
Oh,
my,
nice.
my go-to flash game
Which
site. Ancon.
And I don't think I've heard that one.
Dude.
I did A games.
A
A
game.
games.
I
Yeah.
did Not Doppler.
Not Doppler. Yeah.
Let's see. I did
Wasn't there addicting games too?
Yeah.
Cool Math games that they would let you play in school, even though it was fucking bullshit. Blue Tower Defense 3 was on Cool Math.
Did y'all play? I think it's called Mini Clips or something.
Yeah,
like
Mini
that.
Clip.
Yeah.
See, this is
What happened to those websites? Are they just gone?
They
now?
no, it's still on.
Really?
I've gone.
they're
and
taking
found
away.
some of them.
They're shutting down Adobe Flash Player, so I don't
Yeah.
know if that means that shit's gonna go away too.
It might. Yeah.
I'm sure all that shit's gonna be archived in one way or another. Nothing really goes away.
I want a flash game emulator.
I'm sure it
That'd be
exists.
cool as fuck.
I'm
Wouldn't
sure
it
exists.
That'd be so
Um,
cool.
Like that would be
Oh
lit
my
for like
God.
parties, you know.
I didn't even think.
That would be such a classic, like playing like Fireboy and Water Girl.
Yeah.
Like Raft Wars and
Raft Wars is a banger.
that's a classic, bro.
What else?
Super Smash Flash.
Yeah.
What else?
There was that running game.
There were all sorts of like
Was
race
it called
games.
Run?
It's called Run, yeah.
Where you're
I think we
running
played
the
that in
walls and
Coombs.
shit. Yeah.
Classics.
Our computer teacher would hate us because we would always just be fucking off and playing computer games.
But it's so easy to like
He used to do
click
it too.
to the last page. Yeah.
Coombs was just as bad as us, like sophomore year with the games. He used to play Halo every day.
Mr. Coombs was like Nardwar. He knew everything that was going on in his classrooms at all time. I think that was his like army training that he just had a
Periphery.
read on everything that was going on at once.
Yeah.
I remember.
Fucking Al would talk so much shit in that class. He would borderline make people want to throw hands at him because he would just talk so much shit.
Yeah, whenever you saw Coombs getting mad, that was like, well, fun's over. Like, I remember I was in the hallway, I was acting up, I saw Coombs, I was like, well, that's over with.
I remember having Mr. Gillum, and there were a few times where we were like, "This motherfucker's so late, I'm about to leave school," because it was for last period.
Yeah. Might
And
as
everyone
well.
was like, "If he doesn't show up in 30 minutes, we're allowed to leave."
We allowed to leave.
Yeah. I'm like, that's bull, and you know it.
In high school,
Degenerate.
we were minors too, just walk
Yeah.
out, just on the street. It's like, well, it's been 15 minutes.
A minor.
You think anybody's tried that?
Huh?
Like a high schooler, like their teacher takes more than 15 minutes, you just walk out.
Yeah.
Like, well, it's been more than 15 minutes.
Some people would have done it anyways.
Yeah,
That's
really.
That's what I would think.
I was talking about getting sent to detention the other day. I was just like, that was some bullshit.
Yeah.
I never
You're really gonna send me to ISAP?
It was such a waste of time. I never understood what people even did when they skipped. Like, what the fuck was there to do at Easter?
Nah.
Like, just walk around in the hallway. People used to hang out in the bathrooms. Like,
What's around there? What, like a fucking... all that shit in Middletown?
There's plenty of stuff
people would go to McDonald's.
I mean, like, people who skipped in school. Like, if
Oh, like just running around in school?
Yeah, that was what was
that
crazy
is
to me.
wild.
People just walking around. Like, bro, I mean, if you're already in there, just go to class.
And then Mr. Goodall's kitchen is fucking pissed at you. When I was in middle school, they had this stupid ass thing called a strike card, where it's basically a note card that you had to like carry around. If you were being bad, they like signed it, and if you had to return it at the end of the week, and if you were causing enough disruptions, you would get detention. But you also get detention if you lost it.
Nice.
And I would lose that motherfucker all the time because I was just... What I did in middle school, I just had like this big trapper keeper with
God.
everything that I've ever had in it, every notebook, every assignment.
At a certain point as a
and
kid,
shit would just get lost.
I was just shoving stuff in my desk or like in my pockets, like folding it up and putting it in my pocket. For some reason, I just did not use my backpack for a few years in elementary school. So just like report cards would go missing. My mom would come to school, be like, "Where could this possibly be?" Go to my teacher's room, pull out just this like nest of fucking papers in my desk where it's just like every assignment I didn't want to do, all my report cards, all sorts of shit. Because in like second grade, I was just like, I don't want to be here. I'm gonna read.
Yeah.
I literally just was like, I'm on my AR points, bro. That's all I care about. I'm on that AR grind.
I was more motivated in elementary school than I ever was, but I was extremely unorganized. Like you said with that desk, was it like everybody had their own personal desk? You could just shove
No, because it wasn't even like, it was literally just like the tabletop and then just like a cubby right here. And it's like, you're supposed to be able to put your folders and shit in there and keep it organized, but nah, I was just like,
and some people had theirs like nice and organized. They had their pencils organized. I would shove my shit in there. Things would be sticking out. It was terrible.
I wonder if that's why we're all able to be friends, because we have just that cluttered mind.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Clutter mind.
Chaos theory.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I did the same thing where I just wouldn't bring a backpack, and I would do it so I wouldn't have to do the locker shit all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I had this
my locker.
big red trapper keeper, and
Genuinely,
I just had everything in it.
I hated going to my locker because I didn't trust myself to be able to remember the fucking code. It was just some random shit, and so I'd get it once, write it down, lose that slip of paper, gone into the ether. I left coats in my fucking locker because I decided one time I was like, all right, I guess I'll use my locker, put this shit up.
That's a useless talent that we all have, is being able to open a locker.
Can I open one? Honestly, I haven't opened a lock in years.
I could do it.
You gotta be able to like.
I mean, we use one at work, like the safe. But besides that, I don't really use it.
What's the code at your work?
We each have our own individual codes.
What's your code? Wait.
Right into the microphone.
Wait, I just stopped it.
For real.
I'm not just telling you my code. I'm saying my code.
Okay, I stopped it.
I'm not telling you my code.
Why not?
You're gonna rob.
Closing remarks.
Fuck Drake.
Fuck Drake.
Fuck Jay-Z.
O-V-Ho.
Ooh.
Fuck Nas. Fuck all those other bad beefs. Fuck Tupac. Fuck Biggie. This is the beef, man.
This is the Kendrick Lamar podcast from now on, alright?
Welcome to the Kendrick Lamar show, where all we do is glaze. Glaze cast.
We're like the opposite of academics.
Oh my god, right?
Yeah. We're the counterbalance to it.
That man's been losing his mind recently, too.
Have y'all seen him, like, rage quit from the street?
Yes!
Saying Kendrick, it's like, oh my gosh. Bro, you fucking man-child.
I've seen his live. I mean, he's been getting like hundreds of thousands of live viewers at a time.
Yeah, he's been blowing up.
Yeah,
with this.
Oh yeah, I know the last thing we could talk about. Metro.
Yeah, we almost forgot.
Metro.
Let's just play it.
The beat.
Yeah.
Metro tweeted 1,000 times yesterday, just with he hasn't said a word this whole beef, except for maybe like laughing, crying faces. And he just unloaded the clip and said, posted pictures of him in blackface and fucking
another one of those. It's not even like anybody has to do any digging on Drake because that shit's just out there.
Yeah.
And apparently it was out there even before Pusha T exposed it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just out there, just for the public to see.
And
nobody.
Being like, you're a colonizer, dude. When he's literally done blackface, fuck. I don't know, man.
You're not a colony. You're a fucking colonizer.
That's one. Drake didn't respond to that one.
Yeah.
He
left a lot of shit unresponded to.
That shit's just so sad. Like we said, he can't even fucking do a whole Kendrick diss song. He's gotta.
I think that's why he said a lot of the same stuff in the new song.
That's why he's like, you're short. This is so funny how Drake listened to Metro to some drums. He said, yes, I will. BBL Drizzy is crazy, though.
It is crazy.
I want that as a sticker. I put that shit on the back of my car.
BBL.
Call me BBL Drizzy.
Dude, turn it down. Metro did like a contest basically, where he put this beat out and he was like, whoever disses Drake the best on this beat. And so there was just a bunch of crazy responses from just random people getting at Drake, and it's just like, oh my god, the whole fucking world is against Drake.
Yeah. I think that's a genius move, though. He really got the man.
What producer's ever done that before? What producer has ever made a diss beat? Metro is
crazy.
Metro is redefining
Like
what
I
it
said,
is to be a producer.
We're on some straight villainous shit. We got fucking Alchemist getting in here. Kendrick got one of Taylor Swift's producers. He's on some other shit.
And then Mustard after Drake was
literally,
talking about YG.
Literally.
It's insane.
And then we got this, and I think it's just crazy because it really is like getting anybody and everybody to just be like, fuck you, Drake. Fuck you, Aubrey.
And I feel like they didn't have to try that hard either.
Nah, it's
like,
just funny because it's out there.
Like, let's just jump them. Like,
It's literally exposure. It's literally just make it unavoidable for this man. Make him lose sleep.
Yeah. Well, Drake still got Sexy Red, so anything's possible.
Sexy Red.
Two bad bitches. That song was so fucking good. That honestly, Euphoria is the funniest song to come out of this shit.
He said he might pop ass with them.
You think it's funnier than Did Not Like Us? I think both of them are pretty funny.
I think they're both really funny. I think there's just more to laugh at in Euphoria because it's longer.
I agree.
And so there's more points where I'm just like, what did he just say?
I hate the way that he talked. I hate the way that he walked.
Whack.
Okay. I don't know how we end this. Because this...
Just play BBL Drizzy as the outro.
This beef has been all-consuming to the podcast.
I mean, at least we were able to get somebody else in here to sort of balance it out a little bit.
Right, Thank
you for that additional perspective, because I think that it changed the whole dynamic. Because the past 2 episodes have really just been us, like,
glazing
and losing our minds, and we're like, what is happening right now? Who's even winning, bro?
Of course, thank y'all for having me.
You are
We'll
a
definitely have to
tiebreaker.
Do you want to shout out anything else besides your bank?
Nah, just come to US Bank. If anybody needs a credit card, hit me up, Clark.Hicks6 on Instagram, and I'll get you taken care of.
Do you really want me to leave that in?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
I can do loans, savings accounts, trust accounts, money markets. I'll get you taken care of. Hit me up.
I don't trust banks.
Trust mine.